Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Gamers podcast. You can't teach an old gamer new tricks. I'm Ryan, and we have some guests today. Starting off with my good friend Rob here.
Hey, folks.
Who's our special guest? Okay,
This is Brent. I'm here. I just don't have a face right now because my camera's not working.
and last but not least,
how's it going? I'm Damon. Known Rob and Ryan for quite a while. Nice to see you guys again.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Oh, good to see you, too.
We just recently added Damon and Brent to our page as other contributors / moderators / just good old guys to have working with us. So
good old guys, you bet.
We decided to bring them in today on this podcast to we're going to discuss the PS5 and X-Box specs that were released this week, but we'll do the rest of the show and then we'll have the discussion kind of towards the end of the podcast. So I'm just going to keep things moving right along. We're not going to lollygag. There we go. Lollygaggers. We won't do any of that.
Drop the old guy reference nice and early, eh, Ryan?
Well, starting off in the news, lots of the gaming services are getting hammered for obvious reasons. I mean, I've been on my systems pretty consistently. How about everyone else?
Yeah, I ran into some issues earlier this week with Xbox Live for sure. Just couldn't even log in, so it was time to move to the Switch for the rest of the week, handheld.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wii U store was okay. I didn't have any problems, so.
All right, always keeping it current, Rob.
I was trying to think of something that I don't even know if their store is still active. That may have been not even a current reference.
No, it's accurate.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I checked it out the other day, or on Friday night there, actually. Just seeing what was going on in that store.
Yeah, I have heard that's a little bit dated, though. The Wii U store is coming to a close soon. They didn't say when, but soon.
Well, they've got to release another 2 or 3 Just Dances yet on the system. So
It's got to be what it is. I've been actually pretty reclusive online-wise, so I've just been playing single-player games, so I really haven't noticed.
Excellent.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Next up, they're going to do another Crash Bandicoot remake. Or remaster, not a remake. The Wrath of Cortex. That's not a franchise I'm super familiar with.
Yeah, I kind of curious who asked for it.
It was it bad?
They just weren't. They just weren't great. Like, I mean, it was all right. It'd be like, I don't know.
Well,
yeah, the old Crash Bandicoot. I haven't played a Crash Bandicoot game probably since the PlayStation 1 was the last time I played Crash Bandicoot. Yeah,
and the first 3, they got lots of fans. Like, I mean, the Crash Kart had a lot of fans, but the Wrath of Cortex was like Xbox and
oh, really? Okay.
I don't think PS2. It might have been PS2, but I don't remember them doing really well or being great. But I don't know. Activision likes the money, and that's probably what's doing it.
It's true, right?
Could indeed be. I have actually never played a single one. I was off playing Spyro.
Oh, good game too, right? Yeah.
The remaster of that is awesome.
That's fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to try.
When my wife shows interest in a video game and wants it bought, I pick it up immediately for her.
Yes. Gotta have that spousal support.
Yeah,
That's
yes, and she's been playing it a lot, actually.
Oh, nice.
So, next up, Nintendo had an Indie Direct this week. Many games are announced. All of them looked pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And all of them will be lost in the eShop in a matter of minutes. You won't be able to find them.
Totally right. Oh, man.
It is one of the worst stores out there for trying to find something. Just browsing. Yeah. Holy mackerel.
I have not had the displeasure yet, but I will soon.
There's no categories, Brent. It's like games. Bam.
Oh god, that will drive me
And
nuts.
they got it broken. They have new releases, but I mean, new releases itself is like 300 long. And other than that, you can break it down. What else can you break it down in, guys? Like demos. Like if it has a demo, you can filter it.
Yeah. Or if it's on sale.
Or if it's on sale, yeah.
Or if it's on sale, yeah.
Yeah.
There were like the big Beyonce drop because they seem to do every time they have an indie now, they do a little Beyonce drop of something. It's available now. Exit the Gungeon was the one this time, which was fine. It was weird though because the one thing that I thought was really weird was they labeled it as a console exclusive or timed console exclusive, but it was actually on the Apple Store.
Yeah, the Apple Arcade. It's been on Apple Arcade for like 2 months. But I guess it's not a console. That's kind of a... It's a service, I guess.
Yeah.
The only other one that really caught my eye was The Last Campfire from Hello Games, the guys who made No Man's Sky. I'm really... You know what? If they put as much love and care into this game as they did... eventually with No Man's Sky. Maybe it'll be a good game to pick up later on.
Sure, yeah.
It's kind of a good rule of thumb in general, typically now.
Right, it's true, right?
I'll wait for the first patch.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was kind of interested in that one, too.
Yeah.
Okay. What else we got here? Sunset Riders coming to the Switch. It's going to be an arcade port, not...
Oh, nice. That's good.
Yeah. So there's that... I didn't really realize there's this company called Hamsters, and they've been doing these arcade archives. And like they brought out the arcade edition of Punch-Out on the Switch, if you've seen it.
Right,
where you're the green vector guy that you can kind of see through punching at
the wireframe. That's classic.
Wireframe, yeah.
Yep, you bet.
I actually just found out about Hamsters last night.
Like the game or just hamsters in general?
Well, there's a story there now.
Remember, it's a PG show, Brent.
Yeah,
I didn't start this one.
Oh, no, it's but yeah, they've done a few. They've done a few really good ports, so that'll be good. It's a great game, so the arcade ports are even better.
There was a lot of quarters lost to Sunset Riders, and then even there was a Super Nintendo version of that as well, which didn't compare to the arcade at all. But that was one of my favorites. It was almost like Wild Wild West before Will Smith got a hold of it.
Oh, right, yeah,
right,
yeah, you bet.
Yeah.
It's good.
Just looking over here, like they're the ones that brought Bomb Jack, Donkey Kong 3, Donkey Kong Jr., Double Dragon. This is all stuff that's on the Switch eShop.
Okay.
Excite Bike, Gradius, Ice Climber. It's weird. Yeah. They're all so they've got a good track record. They're all pretty good ports.
Very cool.
Yep.
What else we got here? A video was released of the new Overwatch character Echo. That's a game I keep meaning to go back to and play a little bit more, but who has time for that?
I know, there's just so many games.
Yeah, as a old gamer confession here, I've never played Overwatch. I probably should have by now, but it's just one that I've missed altogether. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I've never played it either, so
hey.
my reflexes are a little too slow for the twitchy games, but and I hate getting teabagged. That's all the young kids just right off the bat. All with I didn't even know what that was till Ryan told me what that was, and it's like, oh, that's what they're doing. Okay. Right.
It's like, what is this strange victory dance?
Yeah.
What was he doing there?
Why is he crouching up and down on top of me?
He must be trying to dodge a headshot from somebody else. That's what must be happening.
That's right. That's right.
Well, everyone, GameStop has taken it upon themselves. Earlier in the week, they were trying to label themselves as essential retail, but they finally agreed to close their stores down.
What a noble business.
Yeah.
I was surprised they still had a lineup of people for Doom Eternal and and Animal Crossing. I was really shocked to see that in the news. I don't remember the last time there was a group of people waiting to pick up a game at EB Games or GameStop. It seems like it's kind of antiquated these days.
That's right.
Oh.
That's right.
Indeed, yeah. It seems like the forward release pitch and all the the midnight releases and everything have just gone the way of the dinosaur.
It's true, right? It's true. You've got Amazon. You've got 100 different ways to order it. You can get it digitally. Like, who wants to camp outside for? I don't know.
Yeah, I know as soon or as far back as last year. I remember one of the Call of Duties when it came out still had a midnight release.
Wow.
They opened up I think the South Common Best Buy there. So just one Best Buy, not all of them, but you can still go line up and get that game right at midnight.
I wonder if we, no, I'll say it now. I was going to say, I'm wondering if people will line up for the next-gen consoles as well and do campouts.
You know what? Maybe, especially if with everything going on, they're in limited supply, right?
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, they're going to be. I think they'll release before Christmas, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of them.
No, could be a lot like when the Wii launched, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone wants it, and they've only got 10. But
oh yeah, I actually had pre-orders at 3 different local shops and EB Games, and just in case, so I ended up getting one, and this guy's kid was having a meltdown and literally begged me to sell it to him. And so I did for the kid, and then just went over to one of the other stores and picked up my Wii.
You made that guy's day.
I know.
So the Wii came out what was it, in November before, or October before that Christmas rush, and I missed out.
Oh no!
And I didn't get one till February, but I was going to stores I had 6 or 8 stores. I was just circling every day trying to see what I could find. And they had no games. There was 6 or 8 games released at the time too at launch, and Wiimotes and nunchucks were hard to find. So if I found any of that stuff, I'd pick it up. But I didn't get a console until one morning. I lucked out and just happened to be at Future Shop when it was when they brought some in. It was crazy, but it was the thrill of the hunt, that's for sure.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, now it's the thrill of making sure nobody stole your Amazon package off of your front porch.
Yeah.
That'll be easier now that no one has a job.
That's a good point.
On a side note there, I'd heard that Amazon wasn't doing anything but essential orders, and I ordered some stuff yesterday.
Yeah, it's anything they have in the warehouse you can still get. It has to be shipped from Amazon, no third-party stuff. Yeah.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Just that way they can vouch for who's packed it and follow the procedures, right? Whereas if they ship it through Amazon, then they can't say that all the procedures were followed, right? So.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay. Then that makes sense. Once again, I have skimmed an article and I've been caught doing it.
I was corrected on that earlier, so it was.
To be fair, it's breaking news for me on either account. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, you bet.
So, Rob, what you been playing?
We're
just flying right along here.
All right.
I'm not messing around today.
No, fair enough. We got a lot to talk about. We've been playing a few kind of relaxing games because I haven't felt much like I wanted something that didn't remind me of everything going on outside. So my go-to relaxed game is Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, but not on the Wii U anymore. It used to be on the Wii U, but I picked up the Steam version, which is a lot better. It was. You start to see some of the frame rate problems they had after you played on a computer, but that and a little game called The Stanley Parable, which Yeah, it's really hard to describe, but it's like the first walking sim, but it's almost a roguelike one because you do it over and over and over again to see all sorts of endings, and then it changes the story. And it's really good. It's free on the Epic Store right now, so I'd recommend that. And keeping things moving along because we've got a lot of games. Yoshi's Crafted World, because my daughter has a lot of free time. I've got a lot of free time. We're gonna try and finally beat it here. So kind of bounced it off it a bit because Yoshi's Woolly World was one we played lots, and then we got Crafted World. We were super excited, and it was just a lot more grindy. So but we've got some time now because all the kids are home. I'm
How old of the
unemployed.
game was that Stanley Parable, you figure?
2011, 2012, something like that.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I think it's 2013. I think I got a bunch of awards in 2013. So,
Okay.
but it's yeah, it's hard to describe, but it's definitely worth a try, especially with it being free. And just free yourself like a couple hours to play it over and over again, because there's a continuing story. It's a very cool game.
Okay. I downloaded it. I'll see if my computer will run it.
Oh, it'll
I'm
run
actually
it.
going to try it.
Yeah.
It's I think the minimum requirements were a P4. It said P4
Oh, okay. Yeah.
1.1 gigahertz or something like it was. You can run it.
Okay. Okay.
And how about you guys?
Damon, how about you? What have you been playing?
So I fell down a rabbit hole the other week, and it seems kind of funny because Rocket League is a game that's been out for years,
Nice.
and everyone's been playing Rocket League. I've known about it. I'm like, oh, cool. It's soccer with cars. Looks fun. But I just kind of put it off and put it off and put it off, and I can see why it was so popular. So that was one that I've been playing a lot, and that was the one I was really sad didn't work when I went to log into Xbox Live the other day.
Oh.
So yeah, so apart from that, I was playing. Been playing Luigi's Mansion 3 on the Switch. Actually, playing it with my fiance. I'm regular Luigi. She's Booger Luigi, and it's actually it is a great co-op game, and it's probably one of the best couch co-op games I've played in a long time. It is
Nice.
definitely something that you can play through with somebody together. And when I'm sick of Luigi, I've been playing F1 on Game Pass. So F1 2018. So it's a racing simulator. And if I had to summarize it, it's the closest thing I've ever seen to a role-playing game mixed together with a racing game. It's actually really worth the time. Yeah, it's
Tell me more.
It's got a lot of really cool elements in there because you have to manage your team, you have to manage your car, you have to set up your car for every race. It's really interesting, and you can like put points into research and development, and it's really different. I do recommend it. I know Ryan's into. I've seen you play a lot of Forza, right? And it's when I like Forza scratches a certain itch, and this one scratches a different one, and it's really good.
Okay.
So those are kind of the three that's been taking up my time this last week. So
I like the sounds of that because I like racing simulators, but I don't like it when it's down to like, here, figure out your gear ratio. But if it's something like where it's a little more role play, like that's
it is.
That sounds awesome.
And it even takes into account the things that you do off of the track. So like the interviews that you do like with the media and whatnot. So, and like your team, your F1 team will have expectations of you and whether or not like you can lean almost not like Mass Effect where it's like Paragon and Renegade, but like you can be more sportsmanlike or you can be more of a showman. And like it takes a lot of facets into account. I do recommend it. And it's free. It's on Game Pass. It's a good one. Yeah.
I have questions. So first off, Luigi Mansion 3, how does that, because you don't get Luigi right away. I guess it's pretty early on. Do you have to play single player until you get to that point?
Okay. That's right. Yeah, you do. So you gotta burn a few hours before you can get to the couch co-op part. So
okay, I might pop that out then because I've been playing it and I played here and there, like, and it's not because I'm not liking it. Like, every time I play, I have fun, but there's just so much to play right now, and I get distracted. And the Rocket League thing, same thing. Like, I've seen it, and I know billions of people play it. Even my nephew was like, "Hey, why aren't you playing this? It's on Game Pass. Just play it. I'm like,
Yeah, it's a
it's
great
just
game.
soccer
Yeah.
with cars. I don't know.
Yeah, it gets its hooks into you somehow. I can't really explain how it does it, but it's just it really has that feeling of one more match, one more
Mm,
match, one more
right,
match.
right.
And if I call back to like some of the most fun I've had in multiplayer games, would be that was what it was. You just wanted to have one more, and
Yeah.
so
Okay.
yep, that's what I've been
Well,
doing.
I'll have to
Kind of
check
like
that one
Wii
out.
Sports when you
Sure, yeah.
you buy the Wii and you're like, I'm never going to play this thing, and then 7 hours later after you've been playing tennis, you're like, what?
Wait, if I get an 1,000 rating, I get a different colored racket,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Brent, what have you been up to in the old video game world?
I have been playing State of Decay 2, the Juggernaut Edition, which
Oh,
has been absolutely amazing. They have upgraded the graphics. Um, you know, I'm playing it on my laptop, so they've put a lot of like the ray tracing stuff into it, and I mean the sunlight shimmers through the trees. Um, it's just really like it's even better looking than it was before. They've refined some of the gameplay mechanics so that fighting is a little easier and a bit more intuitive. And the new map they added, kind of looks like the Rocky Mountains. It's not like really
oh,
bland terrain. There's lots of trees, um, and new bases, and it's added quite a bit to the game. Like, I mean, I've been playing it since they came out. I played the original, and never really gotten bored of it yet. I keep going back to it, and now they've added all this great content literally for free. So I've
is
been
it a zombie game or like?
it it is a zombie game, but it also involves managing your NPC group. Like NPCs come into your group, and you can decide whether to accept them or not. It's
Hmm,
AI driven. They all have personalities. They fight with each other, and you've got to manage this whole group, your base, and your resources, as well as go out and fight zombies. So it's actually a pretty cool game.
okay.
Definitely worth checking
Right
out.
on.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've never tried any of those, either one.
and
Sorry.
you can play kind of sorry, and you can play kind of multiplayer too. Like you can join a friend's game, or they can join yours, and like help out with things. And they're looking to go totally multiplayer as well with State of Decay 3. So that should be
Oh, right
interesting.
on.
Excellent.
Yeah. I've also been playing the Outer Worlds, which is
Woohoo.
one of the things that it's like woohoo, that has captured me the most. Always been a big fan of Fallout. Thought the series kind of slid down. We won't mention Fallout 76. I won't. Um, but I think Outer Worlds is what Fallout could have evolved into, what it could have been.
Yep.
And it's got like the depth of Mass Effect to it. The gameplay is really smooth and fluid. Controls are very intuitive. And I've just been like, even, when you're not up to playing a game, it's still not so intense at times that it can't be a more relaxed game. And you have a spaceship, so that's just cool. You can actually like do things, go into space and like fly to other planets, so you're not like limited to one map or one area. So yeah, it's been fun, and I've enjoyed the hell out of it. And other than that, I've also been playing Frostpunk, which
Hmm.
um, I love the game, but also love to hate it because it's just so damn hard. But it's like taking like Tropico or any city builder game and putting it in this, I can't even talk right now, apocalyptic ice age setting with like a steampunk theme where you have basically this steam engine that's at the center of your city, and you have to, build a city around it and basically keep everybody alive in the freezing cold. And there are times when you get rapid weather patterns that, like drop to minus 80 or minus 100 degrees, and you're just not prepared for them, and you just got to like just keep busting at it, and to get everything done and the city kind of set up before all these storms come in. And then after every storm, the temperature lowers 10 degrees permanently. And yeah, I haven't finished the game yet, but it's actually been a hell of a lot of fun and a completely different take on the average, city builder. And the story is deep. there are actually moral decisions that you have to make in the story that affect the little NPC people that you're guiding around, and it really makes you think about like the consequences of not giving people food or making them work longer hours, and you start sitting there and you start like feeling for the people in the game, and it's just this is the first time I've ever seen a city builder that actually like made me think about the choices that I was making rather than just work little sims. So yeah, it's been quite cool, and I'd say a very underrated and not talked about enough game.
Yeah,
Right
I've read some reviews on it, and I downloaded it off Game Pass here, and I've been
That's where I got it.
when I get some free time on my computer here, I want to give her a try. It's also on the console too.
Oh,
actually.
really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah, they released a console version of it.
Well, just prepared to have some calming music to listen to while you're playing the game, because it will definitely infuriate you. But I'm like, I'm never playing this thing again. And then like the next day, it's like, yeah, I'll play for a couple of minutes.
Right on.
And I guess last but not least, I'll get to what I've been up to. Apparently, I've been playing Fallout 76.
Oh, I knew the day would come. Oh, good for you, buddy. It's
Rob.
I don't know how that got there in the notes. Freaking millennials must have been hacking the nets.
Someone hacked our document.
Oh, that was me.
I have not been playing Fallout 76 yet. The price has not dropped low enough.
Yes.
Yeah, I will try it if it either shows up on Game Pass or if it drops to less than $40 for the game.
So what if Brent, Damon, and I each chipped in $10 and it brought it below $40?
No, that's not a stipulation.
I think if it comes on Game Pass or drops to like $19.99, or like when they had the sale on Anthem, because I bought Anthem, I hyped Anthem to people, played it, and then returned the game and didn't get it again until it was on the store and they had it on sale. I think it was like $15.99, so I bought it again to play on PC. But I think when we do that, when it does go that low, we all got to get it and then play together and just.
Oh, sure.
I think that would be awesome. Which may be a while if it doesn't come down.
Yeah.
But what I've actually been playing, I've had a craving. You guys ever? I put a post about this on the page. Or do you ever get a craving to play a game where you're just like you see it and then it like I just noticed it on my shelf like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, man, I need to play this game, and it's Super Mario Galaxy. Ooh. I was like, man, I remember having so much fun playing this game. I'm just gonna. Yeah, so it took 2 weeks of Friday night there. I plugged it in, put good 3 hours into it. And it's a great little game. It shows its age a little. And it's not early, but mid-waggle controls as well. Yeah.
The dreaded waggle controls.
Yeah. So but...
Put my phone on mute here.
Yeah.
I thought that was my
podcast
phone.
Here, Rob.
No, it's like, oh yeah, I did.
Sorry, we got a reputation here.
Mom. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm gonna see how far I can get into it over the week here. I've also been presented with a challenge that my main game systems are also on the main TV in the house, and the house is suddenly very populated.
So the Switch wins.
Yeah, so the Switch wins a lot, except if I wake up early before everyone else and get some time in, which is how I got to try some Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
Ooh,
on
what a
Saturday morning.
Professional segue right there.
That was great, really right? Huh?
Love it.
So, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, awesome. Oh, I know. Just you see it Rob, you see this derailing? No. So it's great. I love it, but it didn't blow me away like when Ori and the first one.
Okay.
But where I was blown away by the first one, I appreciate this one. Like every time something new comes along and like their whole new system of adding your like the cards you pick up or the I don't know the actual names of the stuff in there, but you have the 3 slots that you can put your actions into and whatnot. Like there's some great upgrades in it, but just the like I didn't know much about Ori, the first one, and then I tried the demo on the Switch, and I was like, what is this game? Holy crap. And then I finally picked it up and played a bunch of it. But just you know, the platforming in the first one was like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the combat, like that, the little I forget the name of the little ball of light that you get as your main weapon in the first one, and just that combat, using that in combat was crazy. But I'm definitely going to play a lot more of Will-O-the-Wisp. It looks amazing. It plays amazing. I don't hate it. I'm just saying that I appreciate it. I really appreciate the entire game. I just not blown away like I was when I tried the first one.
Wow.
Fair enough.
And lastly, I've been playing a lot of Skyforce Reloaded with the wife. We've been couch co-oping that, and we're kind of determined to complete everything.
Wow.
Very nice.
Yeah. So we're at what basically happens is you go through the levels and you have normal, hard, and then insane. And we've actually completed up 1 through 4 up on insane. And level 5, if you've played Reloaded, level 5 is a level with no shooting. It's just all dodging. And yeah. And if you don't know what Skyforce is, it's a top-down shooter. So it's been a lot of fun.
That sounds very, very cool.
It is.
So-
And you know, the wife and I get a chance to play it, and
So what I'm surprised looking at this list, did nobody try the Resident Evil 3 demo?
I'm gonna hang my head in shame because
No, I'm just
I
curious.
love
Like I
Resident
thought.
Evil. I love Resident Evil, but no.
I downloaded it on Steam, and it's been staring at me. But I'm a big chicken. It's I thought it would be good for the lulz to stream it, me playing Resident Evil 3 demo, but no. I was hoping somebody else might try it here, but I may get to that.
I'm with Rob. I don't like being anxiety ridden when I'm playing a game. Like it's just
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'll definitely download it.
Well, there you go.
I think probably my trepidation was just why I kind of ignored it, was because I was so hyped for the Final Fantasy VII remake demo, and then found out it was only on PS4, and I looked for it everywhere, and then I was like, damn it.
oh,
So I was like, I'm staying away from all demos now, but now that I know it's on Steam, I'll probably have a look at it.
I've downloaded it as well. I just never got around to it.
Cool.
I will. Go ahead.
Okay, just didn't want to talk over you.
Yeah.
Just to bring one thing up, as Ryan said, well, the 3 of us, state your craving game, because Ryan, I thought that was great with that game that you just that you crave and you need to play. So I thought maybe we can find out everybody else's game that they crave.
Well, that's the funny thing about a craving though, is that I was just craving this right now.
Yeah, but it does happen. It does happen. For me, I'd say, even though I can't satisfy it yet, Phantasy Star when it comes to the Xbox.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Are they doing a remake of the original then, or?
I'm not sure whether they're doing a remake of the original, but they're doing the Phantasy Star Online, like the multiplayer.
Oh wow!
And it's going to be coming to Xbox. So I was just like, oh yeah, I need that.
Yeah, Phantasy Star Online 2. It's in beta right now for Microsoft Insiders, and they had a release a few weeks back, and it everyone's saying it's fantastic. I didn't get a chance to
Okay.
play it myself, but yeah, but essentially it's a, I believe it's kind of like an up-res version of the Dreamcast Fantasy
I
Star
was
Online
gonna
2.
say, yeah, it was a Dreamcast game, right? Was it
Okay.
a Dreamcast exclusive, or did it come to
Mhm.
I think
anything
it
else?
was. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And I think
What?
it was for PAL versions, or maybe it was in Japan only. So North America never got it. So I think
Yeah,
that's
I
why
think it
it
was
was kind
Japan
of
only.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Which Fantasy Star was on the GameCube? Because they had an online Fantasy Star on the GameCube. Because it was like the only game that used the Ethernet adapter, or you could use the Ethernet adapter for.
There
Well,
was a GameCube
there's Ryan
Ethernet
just putting us all
adapter?
to shame because I had no idea about that
Wow.
one. Good call, man.
Okay, got to Google that.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't realize the GameCube had an Ethernet adapter.
Yeah, it clips
That I
in the
knew, but I
bottom there.
didn't know.
Fantasy Star. There for Fantasy Star Online. Episode
Yeah.
1 and 2.
While Rob's looking this up, I'll just address our poll this week, which was
Oh, okay.
to talk about the with the coronavirus and all the self isolation happening, how's this going to change your gaming plans? And in third place is I'm going to dive back into my ever expanding back catalog a bit and do some catch up. In second place, we had no change. I'm still working or have other obligations now. And the winner, unanimously, was I was pretty much already a self-isolator, so no real change. So, yeah. So now we're at the main event, folks. Everyone
Great.
get your
The Intellivision
everyone get
Amico.
your
Let's go. That's
everyone get to your corners and come out swinging. I don't know.
come out swinging.
So
eh?
let's so Damon,
No.
why don't we start with you, because you're kind of our Xbox guru. You're the one I go to for Xbox advice. So
Did the Surface headphones give away my Microsoft fanboy? Did they?
oh
Wow. Okay. Okay.
That's okay. I'm wearing an Xbox branded Turtle Beach headphones.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next generation's looking pretty exciting. I don't know. There was a lot of hands-on Series X videos that were released this week. There's a few places on YouTube where you can see them. We actually posted one here yesterday, and it's looking. There's a lot to get excited about, I think. Yeah, we can see exactly what's on the inside, how it's built, and I kind of thought it was interesting. Digital Foundry, they did they very eloquently pointed out that the Series X is actually almost exactly the same size as two GameCubes stacked on top of one another. So that was pretty interesting. Yeah. So if you're trying to find a place to put it in your entertainment system, that could be a good way that you can measure it.
There you go. Get a couple of GameCubes from Value Village, stack them up, and then you get an idea.
Exactly.
I got that. I still got GameCubes.
But I'm really digging the way Microsoft are doing like a consumer-centric approach to this next generation. I think Sony, they kind of caught a little bit of a bad set of luck with regards to the Game Developers Conference and the presentation they had meant, I assume, was for GC, and that was the one that they just released the other day, and it was super dry. And it was just a lot of technical jargon. And I don't think a lot of people that were really, because people are clamoring, people are waiting for it. People want to see the next PlayStation. They want to see what it looks like. They want to get excited about it. And they've had a logo, and then they had this release earlier on this week. So yeah, I think oddly enough, Microsoft is giving people more stuff to be excited about right now.
Okay. What do you so the one downside I heard about, or labeled as a downside, I don't know. What do you think about the storage expansion that people were on about?
Yeah, like they have said for the PS5 that basically any NVMe storage drive will work, and yeah, for the Series X, you're kind of stuck to these. They're essentially 1 terabyte SSD memory cards is what they look like.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't see like a tremendous issue with it. I mean, for us, like how many memory cards for various systems do you have kicking around your house right now? Anyways, I'm pretty sure you've got Dreamcast VMUs, and I'm pretty sure you've got PS1 memory cards and stuff. So I mean, for us, might not be that big of a deal, but I can see how for people that they want to use the storage maybe they already have, it could be a definite downside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have to. I from everything I've read, that was the only real gripe I heard. People were like, "What? They just had to do one Xboxy thing, didn't they?"
Yeah,
Because
there was
I don't know if
one
you're.
other piece that I think might be a downside. No optical audio out. I don't know what kind of setup you have at home for your systems right now, but I use optical audio for a few things.
Yeah.
So that I think is a little bit of an omission and a little bit of a step in the wrong direction. They should include everything and add, as opposed to removing a little bit of functionality. I know a lot of streamers are getting a little bit upset about it because a lot of them use like an external audio interface that uses optical in from their game to capture their game audio and everything.
Yeah.
And this might throw a little bit of a monkey wrench, but it can be mitigated a bit because a lot of TVs have optical out. So just might be a little bit of juggling. But yeah, I thought that was weird.
Yeah, because if you go straight to a capture card, you're going to have, and you go HDMI to it, a lot of setups, the capture card won't do the handshake to get the audio out. Yeah, so it's having that SPDIF was a way to kind of bypass that. But it seems strange when you've got a $500 to $700 box, that little optical audio out. You wouldn't think it would have cost all that much, but they're taking a step. They're like Apple. They got to remove one thing just to insert Apple joke. Sorry, I didn't have a punchline there. Sorry, carry on, Damon. You're doing a great job there.
No worries. That was awesome. But if you've seen the inside of the Series X, though, I mean, there's not a ton of space left over in there. Like, it's pretty packed on the inside of that thing. So maybe they had to remove it. I'm not too sure. But
yeah, it is packed in there. Yeah. And even the available ports, it's not like in the pictures I've seen, there isn't like a little secret little door you pop off, and there's like a 25 pin in there or something that's going to be an Xbox exclusive expansion. Like, this thing is looking pretty locked down.
Yeah. And I do like the design, I gotta say, even though a lot of people say it looks like a fridge, but no, I think I think it's unique, and I think a lot of us were expecting that at some point in time, a lot of the consoles would end up being mini computers anyways, and that's essentially what we're moving into right now. So,
absolutely.
But that in comparison, just with their cloud services and Game Pass, I think they're making a lot of steps in the right direction.
Oh, I do too. Definitely. Yeah. One little funny thing I thought I'd bring up. So when the Xbox One was coming out, I stumbled across an article this week. Do you remember Xbox wanted you to not be able to trade or sell your discs?
Oh,
yeah.
Right?
The DMR debacle.
Yeah, they're going to be like registered to you.
Yeah. I don't think it was by mistake that Sony took advantage of that. Like, they knew that. Yeah, they were even advertisements that were like here's how PlayStation 4 game sharing works, and then you would just see like a guy hand his game off to somebody else, and then the PlayStation logo would come up. It was pretty funny.
Right.
I think they swayed a lot of this generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, the companies must be loving that people are going so online, because they basically eliminated that with you, like, everyone downloading their games, or a large percentage of the games, right? Because you it's not like you can sell your license. Maybe that'll be something that'll come up in the future, but
well, Sony was looking to do that, where you could actually trade in a game that you had bought digitally. There was rumors of that a while back, that they were supposed to be able to trade in a game and then put the money towards another digitally bought game. Don't know if that's going to happen, but
okay.
I heard something similar to that. from the Microsoft camp where they were trying to make a way that you can get digital licenses for your physical games. So
that would actually be really cool.
Yeah, that was another extra piece. I'm not too sure how far down the road that will be, but it could be interesting. Convenience again. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're pulling a total win here. Specs aside, I think. Well, I was reading an article where they were saying that things are pretty evenly matched. That the PlayStation 5 seems to be a bit more like from what they talked about in the developer video. That it seems to be a little bit more. What's putting people uneasy is it seems to be a little bit more gimmicky. They're like they're talking about the 3D audio, or you can hear raindrops, and all these other things. It seems a little bit gimmicky and kind of bleeding edge stuff, and it's reminding me of the PlayStation 3 all over again. Whereas Microsoft is showing off their hardware, instilling customer confidence, and really being transparent. And as you were saying, very customer friendly and consumer friendly, and Sony just kind of seems to be over there hiding, and so I think in the end it's going to be less of a war about the consoles and the specs, and about who's doing the most for their customers this time around.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Has Xbox said anything about their backwards compatibility at launch? Or
yeah, they're basically the entire catalog moving backwards of what existing currently, and then more. So anything that's backwards compatible from the original Xbox 360, Xbox One generation will be full backwards compatible with the Series X as well.
So that's like that's the ones that they've already because there's a list, right? It's not just any game. Yeah. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, but they did say all of the Xbox One, like right off the bat, right? Like that was.
That's right too. Yeah.
So that's huge. Although I think didn't PlayStation say the same thing now eventually for the 4? It just took them a while to say it.
Well, they're working on it. They're gonna release the top 100 titles for launch, and then keep releasing them after that.
Right, because I thought I just read something here that they said they should all be compatible except for some clock speed issues, but they're not certifying them until they've actually tested every single one.
Right.
Yeah, so they're doing a horrible job of saying it, but it does look like they're going to be okay for that, I guess, but they should probably get that out to people.
Yeah, and that's the thing, they're not getting the message out to people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're not talking about what they're handling with older games, because they were talking about full backwards compatibility, and now it's not. So what are they going to do for consumers to get all the rest of those games in there? I mean, other than, like the PlayStation Now service.
Yeah, exactly. And putting a little PSP UMD drive in there. That's what they need.
Yes, they do.
Heck yeah. It'll be a USB attachment, Rob. Be a little UMD drive.
They almost made that, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say they had plans of it for the PSP Go, but the PSP Go didn't really take off, so that would have been great. But I'm sidetracking the conversation here now, so
that's all right.
Back to next gen. No one cares about the PSP.
So something.
I care about the PSP, Rob.
What's that?
I said I care about the PSP.
Nice. Me too.
And the Vita.
Oh yeah, you betcha.
Yeah.
So something, a statement that was made that it's kind of interesting about the PlayStation 5 is that they're going to be running their CPU and GPU at variable frequencies, so that it's a different way of balancing the power and cooling, so that you're always running at a consistent power level. So that's kind of, instead of just being locked into that speed all the time. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is. It worries me a little bit though, because it's like I said, all this bleeding edge. It's like it's like we're trying all these new things and doing all this experimental stuff, and then their competitor is just offering a rock solid piece of hardware that will play games and have that reliability. So it's like, it's so tearing between. It's like, what do I do? What do I want? It's like, where do I put my faith?
Yeah, and we haven't seen it yet. Like, I want to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely should have done that first.
Well, okay, that weird model that's been out, the dev model.
Flying V.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I call it the Spock.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that not what it's going to look like? Or is that the dev model?
Well, here's a good question. What did you think of that design? There's 4 of us here. It's a really small sample size, but what did you guys think of that design?
That was awful. It looked looked like when they made the UI, or what was that? Yeah, like it looked like they were just going for something completely so different looking, and that's what I thought when I saw that back in the day. It was like, hey, look at this. It's really cool.
What did you think, Ryan?
I thought it looked like an engine.
Yeah,
it does kind of look like a motor. Yeah.
Like, that's what it kind of reminded me of when I saw it. But it's definitely eye-catching. But I don't know, like, are they doing that to stand out, or is there an actual design reason to kind of make it like that?
I would think cooling, maybe, if they were actually going for a design reason to do it that way. But at the same time, out of the 4 of us, we can pretty much say reception is lukewarm at best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that they maybe went back to the drawing board a little bit on the design of it.
Yeah.
Quite possibly, because I don't know if you guys saw, but there was months ago, some guy was on the PlayStation site in Japan, and just for a couple of minutes, amongst all the other logos of the PlayStations, that one actually popped up and was on the site listed as PlayStation 5, and then it was taken right down.
Oh.
Like that design. When I first saw it, I don't know, I got this idea of like Lego blocks. Like some kind of Lego construction that was put together.
Yeah, I can. But basically not. I mean, you look at the Xbox Series X, and whether it's up or down or tilted at an angle, it looks slick. It reminds me of like a monolith from like 2001, right? Like, it's just it looks powerful.
There was a video. They put the Series X right beside the Xbox One X, and they look like the same materials, the same style of buttons. Even the link button for your controllers is all the same. So I think they've thought about this design for at least 4 years in the past, like with regards to the Series X and the Xbox One X. So it's like a line of products. So
it keeps continuity. And in fact, in the video, I think they said they were working on it since like 2016.
Rob, you were spouting some stats to me before we started here about the PlayStation there, or about the CPUs on these.
Just looking kind of at where they'd be at based on what they're saying. So I mean, looking at they're both saying 8 Zen 2 cores at about 3.8 or 3.5, which if you're comparing it to like the 3rd generation Ryzen, it would be somewhere in the Ryzen 7 3700s series, which is a heck of a processor. It's definitely above middle ground there. Like they'd both be pretty similar. Like if one turbo is a little bit faster, like one could be a 3800, one could be a 3700. But I mean, it would be basically the same specs. GPU, they're both saying they're custom, so there's not really anything to compare it to. But really, like everyone, like Damon was saying there, and Brent as well, that they're going to be very similar on the performance. I mean, there's a little bit of a hard drive speed advantage on the PlayStation, but really, I don't know how that'll tie into gameplay. Like, they both got 16 gig of GDDR6, so I mean, they're going to perform pretty similar anyway. Like, I don't know how much buffering you're going to see from the hard drive anyway, or how much of a difference it'll make. It's definitely going to come down to like you guys are saying, like is PlayStation kind of looking at like a PlayStation 3 situation where it's cool, they got this new technology, but it's wicked hard to do anything with when you're making games. And that was always the big slam against PlayStation 3, was that everyone hated to code for it because it was not like anything else.
Yeah,
Whereas
it's the
Microsoft
processor. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna walk in and be like, "Oh, we've already got these games for Windows. We've got these games for Xbox. You can stream it to your Switch soon, I'm sure." Like, it just seems like Microsoft has really got this. They're a step ahead right now, and you're just waiting for PlayStation to may have this big moment, like where they walk in and come in $100 cheaper or do something, right? It's like that meme. It's like that meme where the guy's poking something with a stick. Like, do something.
White Ninja.
Yeah, exactly. You're waiting to see what PlayStation's going to do, because if it just launches like this, I mean, it does seem like Xbox is killing them. But still a few months to go, right? I don't know.
True. I
What
mean,
do you
I
guys think
agree.
there?
So, sorry.
That's okay.
Did you have something, Rob, there? Or
I was
No,
just going to
no.
say one quick thing. Oh, sorry, I didn't want to
Okay,
cut
yep.
you off either.
No, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead, Brent.
Okay. God, no, I forgot. No, I'm just joking. What I was going to say is, that, no, I agree with you on that a lot, Rob. I mean, end result, I don't want to see either system fail.
Mm-hmm.
I was primarily PlayStation right up until like the end of the 360 era. And then I got, heavily into the Xbox, and I've always kind of had both. And really, I don't want to see either system fail. But it's just the steps Sony is taking right now. They're really throwing people off. And, you can have great specs to a system. And I think they are absolutely amazing. The SSDs are going to be a massive boost to things, but they're also talking about how the SSDs will eventually bottleneck and really not make a difference anyways at some point. Yeah. Because the PlayStations is supposed to be 5.5 and the Xboxes is only 2.4, and yet Microsoft is totally confident that will handle everything because of the way they've designed the system, and yet Sony really hasn't said exactly how they're going to be using that yet. And so I've been like a little bit trepidatious about it. I mean, hell, if it works out, it works out. I mean, I kind of have a feeling Sony's just going to pop out of the gate and say, "Oh yeah, here's the PlayStation 5," and then people are going to kind of be blown away by it. There's different camps on either side, and like I said, I don't think this is going to be a battle about the systems anymore because they're so evenly matched, unlike previous generations. I think it's going to be, about the games themselves and about the customer experience. And I got to say, I'm really hoping that Sony does put out an excellent customer experience for people, and that they make it viable, but they do it soon because, specs are great, but the specs, say nothing about the enjoyment of the game itself. Like, look at the Switch, for instance. Yep. Enjoy the hell out of it. I don't have one yet, but I played them. You enjoy the hell out of it because they're, they're working with what they got and they're working the system around it. But yeah, comes back to it's all about the games, and they can have great tech, but people want to see that tech used for the games. And developers say that they're really hyped about the PlayStation 5, but at the same time, they're just kind of trepidatious about how Sony is handling things because they're worried that will eventually impact sales for their PlayStation 5 games. Right. But they're saying the tech is amazing on both sides and that it could very much well be an even draw when it comes out.
Definitely. So, does anyone else have anything to add that they wanted to add last minute to either one of these? Okay. So then, Rob, I'm going to ask you an important question now. It's the day has come, and you're going to buy one of these right out of the gate. Which one are you buying?
Holy mackerel! Way to drop that on me. That's great.
I felt that would come.
Well, you know what? I'm going to go against everything we just said for the last half an hour here. because since I've got a computer, I can't see why I would buy an Xbox. How's that? Whereas
Hot take.
Sony has the exclusives, right? And both you and I, Ryan, I don't know about you two guys there, but we both enjoy the PSVR. And Microsoft says, it's not really a thing that we're going to bring up. Those two things by themselves, if I had to pick one or the other, I'd go PlayStation.
Okay.
Because I play most of the Microsoft games on my PC, right? With Game Pass, so.
Yeah, anything that comes as an exclusive, like Halo or like that, is going to show up on the PC as well.
Yep, you bet.
Okay, that's very good. Damon, how about you?
That's pretty easy. Like I'm a little bit into the Microsoft ecosystem right now. I have like up to 3 generations of games that I can play with backwards compatibility. And a good example, and this is to tie in with Rob a little bit, but just today they started Windows 10 beta for xCloud, so you'll be able to stream using xCloud to Windows 10 PC. That's just around the corner as well. So Microsoft's already happy they got your subscription fee per month out of that. So you're a happy Microsoft customer. And one of us. But I think just based on it's funny, we've talked about everything to do with this new console generation, but none of it was about games. And that being said, just on the hardware alone, I'm probably going to be putting, and I know they're going to be astronomically expensive, so it will only be one or the other. And that's the same way it's going to be for many people. So I'm going to be Series X. That's where I'm going.
Okay.
Right on.
And Brent, if you were going to get a console right on the first day there, which one do you think you'd be?
Well, given all my bashing, you'll probably laugh at this. There are some exclusives that I can't get on the Xbox PC that I do want to play, but I can still play 90% of what I want with my Game Pass, which they did a great deal in like combining the Game Pass with Xbox Live and making it half the price. So I can still play it on the PC. Honestly, and I've given this a lot of thought, I will probably get a PlayStation 5 out of the gate, and then pick up an Xbox Series X, just because they're going to be doing that linear transition over the next couple of years, where I can still play games, on my Xbox, and I can still play it, on the Xbox PC. So yeah, right out of the gate, I will probably just get a PlayStation.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, definitely. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, no. Did you have something else to add there?
I was going to say, we'll get an Xbox eventually, but just because I have that ecosystem already on my computer and my 1S, I will probably just, opt for the PlayStation right up. And I did have one question for Damon.
Yep.
Will the 1S be supported? Just like the 1X is?
Supported in what way? Just
for games, because when they talk about the next generation of systems coming, all they ever talk about is the 1X, and they don't really talk about the 1S.
Yeah, they've basically said that all Series X games will be playable on the current generation of Xbox One consoles for 2 years. So essentially, they've guaranteed 2 years of cross-platform releases. So yeah, we're in the era of PC gaming on consoles, where it's essentially just a slider of your graphical choices, of your performance and whatnot. That's where we are now. So we can do 4K 60 on the Series X, or maybe you can do a 1080p at 30 frames a second on the 1S, right? So that's where we're at.
True. I'm almost hoping the rumor is true, that you'll be able to have Steam, Epic, and other things on the Xbox because of Windows. So literally, your Xbox is now a high-end gaming PC for like a third the price, which that would be killer.
Interesting, yeah.
And on to you, Ryan.
But would they? Are they bringing the Kinect? Because if the Kinect comes in, that's a game changer. I will go straight to the Xbox. But
Well, for me, this is a tough choice because I almost like 2 years ago, I was pretty much exclusively a PC gamer with Nintendo. Nintendo was always my console, and then I got a PS4, and I dove right in and loved it, and then I got an Xbox, and it collected dust for a long time. But with Game Pass and like yeah, I've been like my Xbox has been getting played way more than my PS4 now. So I think right out of the gate I'm gonna go with the Series X.
Cool.
Yeah, because well, and when I do get one, maybe I'll have a new computer by then and be more in Rob's camp where I'm going to be able to play the exclusives on my PC and then I'll go with a PS5. But there's no game pulling me in either direction besides the promise of the future. But I'm really liking what Xbox is doing. With the backwards compatibility to their other consoles. They're taking a real PC approach to this, and I'm really liking that. So if I had to buy one day one, I'd probably go with the Series X.
Split right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So what are all this like? With this next gen, do you think you see Nintendo coming up with some sort of a Switch Pro by Christmas this year? Some sort of a surprise?
I say that's honestly pretty iffy because,
Yeah.
But I mean, Nintendo is famous for, oh, we're not doing that, and then boom, Switch Lite. So it's like, I think that they just did the revision, they're putting out the games, and I think they want to really let it ride for a bit and just get on the games, get the infrastructure better, and just shear things up a bit closer before moving on to the Switch Pro. And I'm hoping that they leave the Switch as it is and turn the dock into the Pro high-end system so you can take your portable games with you when the Switch is docked. That's the high-powered system that you can play everything on.
Yeah.
These are a bit weird, but I've heard rumors of that, and I actually saw designs for that from like way, way back, like in the Wii era.
Yeah. The original design, one of the original designs I saw for the Switch, it had hardware in the dock.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was so surprised when I got mine that the dock was a converter. Like it was basically a USB-C plug that gave you video out, essentially, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, maybe they were future-proofing with the designs. So maybe that is something that's still coming.
But I mean, even a Switch Pro, like to get off the topic of the other two, but what would a Switch Pro do? Like, what? Like they've got this, what is it, 3-year catalog now of games? Are they going to upconvert like all the Nintendo titles to 4K?
Yeah, they have a huge install base. They don't want to alienate all these customers by really, oh, here's a new one.
Right.
I don't know how many millions of Switches are out there now, but I'm pretty sure and they just released a new SKU this year with the Switch Lite. So I mean, they want to keep all these people happy. I don't see a Switch Pro anytime in the future that really changes any of the current catalog in any measurable way. I think if they were doing a Pro, they might look into something like docked quality, handheld, maybe a little bit of a better screen, that kind of stuff. Just a
battery life.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So like they did with the 3DS, right? Because they had the new 3DS,
right?
Because it
had a little more horsepower, right? It was a little more,
and they had the better tracking on the 3D and all that kind of stuff. So, like, I see improvements to a Switch, but not a complete upgrade.
Yeah, I'd agree on that one, and it's probably in their best interest to actually leave the current Switch as it is, and then maybe just sell the new and improved like Super Dock as the Switch Pro that will already be compatible with your existing Switch.
Exactly.
Because then it's an optional thing, and you don't need to go out and buy a whole new, dock with a companion system that's mated to it.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Sometimes Nintendo makes some great decisions, and other times you're left scratching your head.
And other times they make the Wii U.
Yeah.
And other times they make the Wii U. That's right.
Zing! All right.
Fun fact though, the Wii U is still my favorite console to mod, but maybe that's a different topic for another day. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. All right.
Yeah.
And then they brought out Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, which is like one of my all-time favorite games, and only made it playable on the little screen on the Wii U. It was just like, why? Why even?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I think we just have one more order of business if we're all done talking about the PS5 and Xbox there. I think we're split down the middle on what each of us will get. Interesting. Maybe we'll do another recap right before they come out and see if our minds have been changed.
Yeah, especially after Sony shows.
Show us what it looks like, damn it.
Exactly.
I do have one more quick thing there, Ryan, that I don't know. You might remember from this week that you had selected a game for me to play
I was
as
getting to this.
Okay.
Do
you want me to just let you do your segue then, or?
Oh, no, you can take over here.
All right, because it was a great game, by the way. Best 7 cents I ever spent. So I looked long and hard.
Okay, wait, Rob. Sorry. I was giggling so hard to myself watching you play that game because you're like, gotta look for the good in this game. Gotta look for the. Oh my god.
I know, I couldn't help it either. Sorry.
Yeah, it was like, there's got to be something in here. Well, I mean, a top-down shooter works really well when you're 3/4 the size of the screen and you don't have great controls. It's a recipe for disaster. So I tried to find something for you, Ryan, about the same price. And I think I got a winner here for you.
Okay.
It is, let me just do the dramatic reveal here. Just one sec. Oh, unless it freezes on me right now. Come on. Can you fill the dead air here first? Oh.
Is that a tape cassette?
Dude, there we go. How about this? Is that straight for you guys, or?
Real drift
racing. That is your job for next week. Is you need to play that game. It's $1.25 right now, so we can chip in the extra 25 cents if you need. I couldn't. No good sales on it now, but
okay. No, that's
it's. I really want to see your opinion on this because you might do like I did and be like, oh, it's kind of cool, and then about 10 minutes in, you'll be like, that's all there is. This is it.
Okay. Challenge accepted, Rob.
There you go.
Challenge accepted. You go. I will get that played this week and posted for everyone to see. Awesome. All right. Well, I think with that we'll bring the show to an end here. And thanks Damon and Brent for joining us. We'll definitely have you guys on it. We'll definitely have you guys on again to discuss some big issues as they come up.
Fantastic.
And all right. Yeah, I think other than that, Damon, do you have any websites or anything people can check out for you that you want to plug?
No, I'm good right now. I'll get back to you.
Okay. And Brent, you're still good too? You're
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Want to get more content out and other things out there, but just been like super busy, and then also having to partially work around stuff with the virus.
Oh, exactly.
It's been brutal. It's like eat, sleep, work.
Yeah, my office where I do more recordings has been taken over by my wife during the days. Because if I recorded stuff, I'd usually do them at hour to hour and a half where I get home and then she gets home. But now she's in here working. Her desk is actually right over that way, so she's working from home. So, but I'll set some time aside to do this challenge. But all right then. If everyone doesn't have anything else to say, you can find more from the Grumpy Old Gamers at thegrumpyoldgamers.com, and on Facebook, just search for the Grumpy Old Gamers. And if you're watching this video, like and subscribe. We like the likes. We like the subscribes. And other than that, have a good evening, everybody.
Take care, everyone. Good night.
Good night.